I walk from the stall and find a seat, carefully crating the steaming wooden bowl in both hands. Compared to the dumplings from before, this is quite nice. A little cool compared to what it probably should be. Perhaps the flavor is enough to cover for that reasonably well. As a drink, I can't help but feel somewhat guilty for not being as involved in the festival as others. Well, we could have been in another life, but I don't think we'll ever be doing that. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, I don't know. It can't really be helped, considering I was dropped into the school only a week ago. It still weighs heavily on my mind. That, and the fact that a few students don't seem to really be enjoying the festival as much as the visitors. Eventually, I finish my bowl and leave for the stall to drop it off. Considering that there seems to be no line at all, I take my time walking up. Seems that the teacher's mission paid off. There are now over a dozen students helping, and much of the unpacking has been done. Despite most of them seeming quite relaxed as they work, Liz Shield appears to be somewhat stressed. Liz doesn't look impressed at all, and I can't really blame her. Top of issues with the stall, she seems to be too worried about Hisao. I can't really help her with the former, so I guess the only way I can help is by trying to take her mind off our shy mutual friend. Placing the bowl back in the counter, I call out to Lily. Hey Lily, don't worry about Hanako. I'll go find her and hang out with her, okay? I can see Lily's relief plainly written across her face. Thanks, Hisao. And if you see anyone from my class, can you tell them to come back here, please? Will do. Have a good one. Make sure you take a break, okay? I will if I can. See you later, Hisao. I leave Lily in the stall and head out in search of Hanako. In a way, I feel bad for leaving her with the crowds, but even though she was clearly under pressure, I can't help but think she's enjoying herself. The halls are packed with the swaying crowds meandering throughout the festival. If there's one thing I know about Hanako, it's that she's not going to be anywhere near this. With the students showing their friends and family in the dorms, I doubt she'll be there either. Following blind intuition, I move against the grain of the crowd. Thankfully, the crowd seems to be slightly less festive than your usual festival crowd. I assume this is out of consideration for the student body. As I force my way through the masses, it doesn't take long for them to thin down into nothingness. This is not surprising, since I'm standing before the library. Even the most eager of students don't bother to show anyone this section of the school. As I enter the library, the noise of the festival fades into a dull background noise, and soon I'm in the reading area at the rear of the room. Behind one of the partition desks, I see the top of a head, with straight, dark hair catching my eyes. Hey Hanako, I had a feeling I'd find you here. The head jumps a little in shock before slowly peeping out over the partition. Hisao? Hey, Lily's pretty busy, so she sent me to find you. Oh. Do you want to sit down? Actually, I am feeling a little hungry. Would you like to get something to eat from one of the stands? I brought some food, so... I shouldn't be surprised, but it was worth a try. Expecting to go outside today was a long shot. How about we eat in the tea room? I passed it by on the way here, and no one's around. We can make some food there, and it'll be a little more comfortable. What do you say? Sure, let's go. Hanako closes the book and puts it away with deliberate practice movements. Good to go? Yeah. We walk side by side from the library to the tea room. As expected, there is barely a stall around. If it weren't for the murmurs through the walls, you wouldn't tell that there was a huge festival going on outside. Hanako carries a bag in both hands and focuses on just the floor ahead of her. God damn it, I keep doing this. Every now and then, she seems to break her pace a little, and steps in slightly shorter paces. First time it happened, I gave it no mind. But I soon noticed that she does it on a regular basis. Are you alright? She stops in her tracks. What? I don't know. It looked like you were tripping or something. A pink blush rises into her cheeks as her gaze returns to the floor. It's nothing. You know, when you say nothing like that, people aren't about to ask further questions. For a second, I don't think she's going to answer. Prepared to leave it be, I almost set off walking when... It's, a game. Game? Do you, see the floor there? What a bizarre question. The floor looks just like any other floor, covered in those tiles made up from squares of linoleum. Nothing noteworthy. Well, yes, what about it? Sometimes, when there's no one around, I only step on the darker ones. Hanako's voice trails off as her explanation continues, so I can barely hear her voice over the roaring silence of the empty hall. Darker ones? Shuffling her feet, Hanako points to the toe of her shoe, at a tile that is barely a shade darker from the others. Like these ones. Oh, right, so these ones are no good. I point out a nearby tile. Yeah, something like that. Oh, I see. You play this game a lot? Hanako shakes her head. Just when the hall's empty? She nods. Well then, no point in stopping. I'm beginning to get really hungry. She nods again, this time with a little more enthusiasm. Well then, let's go. We start off down the hall, and this time I notice Hanako is paying a little less attention to the floor. I wonder, just how lonely does someone have to be to come up with a game like that? What are you talking about, Hisao? Have you never done that? Alright, everyone in the comments. Have you never played this game where you walk on specific tiles in your school just because you can and they're just there? And it's like, well, I have to walk on like these, like if you had like a checkerboard pattern, you would only step like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Or if it was like, lines, you step like 1, 2, 3, 4. I play that game all the time. But before I realize what I'm doing, I find myself trying to aim each step so it lands on the correct tiles. Of course, Hisao. The noise of the festival is slightly louder inside the tea room. It almost looks like there's snow outside here, but the breeze coming through the open window makes it worth it. Without thinking, I walk to the windowsill and inhale deeply. I sometimes forget how clean the air is here compared to back home.
Would you like some tea?
That'd be great, thanks. It occurs to me that this is the first time I've been alone with Hanako without her trying to be somewhere else. Turning from the window, I watch as she makes a simple pot of tea and arranges some sandwiches onto a plate. I've seen her do this before a number of times, but this time she seems slightly different. What do you mean a number of times? We've been in this room once! What are you talking about? Well, we've been in this room twice, but once with Hanako. I don't think we've ever been here otherwise. It's like she's calm. Eventually, she places the small tray on the table and pours 2 cups of tea. Fresh scent of brewed tea mingles with the breeze, and for a second, I feel like I'm the only one in the world. I think I know why you like this room now.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, there are quite a few people out there, but in here it's like another world. You can pretend that there's no one around for miles.
You're right. It's like the world has forgotten this room. And because of that, you can forget about the outside.
That'd be appealing in some cases. As far as I can tell, conventional bullying doesn't exist in this school. But then again, I haven't seen a single person talk to Hanako besides Lily. If you're ignored by the world, a place where you can fake its existence would hold a special appeal. That's a good point. It's like this room gives you some kind of complete freedom.
Yeah. Say, did you play chess?
Chess? I played it a bit, I guess. Take it you played before?
A little.
Oh, you sly girl. Yeah, a little. Alright, we're about to get fucking wrecked by Hanako because, she's a fucking master at chess, but that's okay. I accept Hanako. Without saying anything more, Hanako moves to one of the cupboards and digs out a small chess set.
Do you want...
Sure, why not? I cut her off, but she doesn't seem to mind it. We arrange the pieces, and before long, we're sending pawns charging to their inevitable fates. I take my time and intently examine each move and its consequences, nostalgia for the game taking second place to the matters at hand. For a time, the game is a lengthy battle of attrition, but I spot an opening and tear in a line at events. A few moves later, her king is cornered by several of my pieces. Oh! Get wrecked. Checkmate. You're not bad at this, are you? On honest appraisal, her technique is pretty good, but several times I was able to exploit her lack of prediction. I pick up a piece and examine it. It looks relatively new, yet worn for its age.
I guess not.
Does it really play? The absence of Hanako's answer causes me to think about my question.
A bit. This is the first time I played against someone other than her,
Or... She cuts herself off abruptly, leaving the answer hanging in the air. Someone she knew before coming to Yamaku, it seems. Maybe. Well then, I'm honored to have played against you.
Can we play again?
She asked as if she were asking me to cut off my own hands. The spirit of competition's gotten into her? Sure. Don't expect me to go easy on you this time. Not that I was before, mind. She seems to appreciate the competitive tone.
Same here.
As you were setting up the pieces, there's a noise at the door.
Good afternoon. Lily.
Oh, hey there, Lily. You finished?
You both are here. Wonderful. At any rate, our teacher managed to round up some extra help, so I was able to leave. Have you been here since you left?
Pretty much. We've just been playing a bit of chess.
Would you like a cup of tea? Actually, I think it may be a good idea to go outside for a little while.
The instant drop in Hanako's face shows her objection to this plan, even though she says nothing. I feel strangely compelled to voice what is plainly in view on her face, but Lily can't see. I kind of think that we should just stay here.
Really? It's so crowded here that I was thinking we should leave the school and head to the local tea house. You mean the Shanghai? Of course. With everyone at the festival, it should be practically empty.
Tea house?
Oh, that's right, you probably don't know of it. There's a tea house not far from here, for which we go every so often.
Sounds like a plan. Hanako, what do you think? Hanako jumps it a little at being forced in the conversation, but at least she seems a little less distraught than before.
If it's the Shanghai, I think it'll be nice. Well then, it's settled. Let's be on our way.
Hanako and I rise from the table on our preempted chess game. Before I can do anything, Hanako has poured the pieces into a small container and placed the board away. Looks like we're ready now. Please, lead on. Hanako moves to Lily's side, and we venture onto the school corridors. The pair leads me through a series of unfamiliar doors, and we emerge on the side of the building opposite the festival grounds. Insulated by the heavy stone of the building, the noise from the crowd has faded into a murmur. Strange. I thought that most people would be getting to leave by now.
They're probably here to view the fireworks.
Fireworks?
Yes. Apparently, the school puts on quite a show. A lot of people come from town just to watch them.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't know that, would you? Sorry. Liz's decision to leave the school grounds seems to make more sense now. Hanako would probably have a hard time with the whole town descending onto the school. Or ascending, as the case may be. For the second time since arriving at Yamaku, I find myself walking down this road with Lily and Hanako. Only now that I can barely hear the incessant noise of the Only now that I can hear the incessant noise of the festival do I realize how loud it was. I can hear my ears ringing slightly in the still evening air as they recover from the day's assault on them. Yeah, that would be a fucking nightmare to me. My ears are already awful as is. They're already fucking blowing up. Kind of. Hanako clings to Lily, but still manages to guide her along the road. That, and avoiding the occasional gate from curious pedestrians, appears to completely sap her constitution. She rarely raises her focus from the ground in front of her, nor does she utter a word. Lily, on the other hand, maintains her prim and proper persona, just as she does in school. It's obvious that she purposely puts effort into appearance, rather than hiding it, as Hanako does. It's striking how different they are, in the way of holding themselves outside of Yamaku's grounds. That said, it's obvious in both cases that they do visibly change. Inside Yamaku, everyone is special, which negates the specialness of it. But once you venture outside the school gates, we'll return to the status of outsider and generic labels, especially when we're still in school uniform. It's like hanging a sign around your neck, challenging people to figure out what is wrong with you. What is wrong with you, Hisao? I'm surprised that so many students keep it on. But then again, with canes and wheelchairs among the students, I guess there's not really that much of a giveaway. Or, maybe I'm the only one who sees this as a stigma? Maybe you get used to it after time, like any other school uniform. There's no problem here, Hisao. You're the only one making a problem out of this. The tea house seems fairly standard from the outside, just an ordinary building with typical signs decorating the entrance. It looks like the type of place you'd walk by without a thought, just another generic cafe in a sea of thousands. If Hanako hadn't steered Lily into the entrance, I would have continued down the road without ever knowing it existed. Inside the tea house, it takes on a more traditional feel. Everything seems to have been made from the same lump of timber, from the counter and benches to the high-back booths along the walls. But the most striking feature of the room is the lack of life. I think I could faintly hear something bubbling away in the background, but otherwise the room is silent. Without any direction, we simply wait near the entrance, politely obeying the "Please wait to be seated" sign. Is this place closed or something? The sound of a chair falling over echoes throughout the empty room, and a head shoots up from inside a booth.
I wasn't asleep. Don't go to the Shanghai.
Good job, Yuko. Yuko, dressed in a pastel apron and clutching a menu, rushed to greet us. Her misaligned glasses and ruffled hair cast suspicion on her previous statement. But whether she was asleep or not is not the first question that leaps to my mind. You work here now? What happened to the library?
What? Lily, Hisao. Oh, welcome to the Shanghai.
Yuko, still waking up, jerks into a violent bow, dislodging her glasses in the process.
My glasses!
As I pick up her spectacles off the floor, Lily offers an explanation.
Yuko here works part-time as well as the library. It's one of the reasons we like to come here.
Yuko takes her glasses from my hands, shakily putting them back on.
Yes, that's right. Thanks. Shall I show you to your table? There's no one else here, so you can choose your table and order whatever you like. There may be a delay as I'll have to make it myself. It's alright, Yuko. Just a pot of black tea and a plate of sandwiches will be fine.
Wow, I'm having a lot of sandwiches. I'm having a lot of food today. We had takoyaki. We apparently had dumplings, which maybe they're the same thing. I don't know. We had miso soup. Now we had sandwiches and tea with Hanako. Now we're having tea and sandwiches with Lily. Jesus. What about that dietary plan, Hisao? Yuko hurries off to the back of the cafe, leaving us still standing at the entrance. She pushes the swinging half doors open before realizing that she hasn't seen us.
I'm sorry, please. See what you like. I'll be right back.
Following her advice, I lead Lily to the nearest booth as Hanako follows. As I begin to sit next to Lily, I realize how appropriate this place is for Hanako. The high-backed booths totally separate you from the rest of the room, and it doesn't look like it gets all that many customers. All of the furnishings, from the cushions on the benches to the condiment holders, look dated, but aren't overly worn. I wonder if Lily deliberately selects places like this to take Hanako. She seems like the type of person that would go lengths to cater to Hanako's unique predicament.
So, Hisao, I didn't know you played chess.
Well, not very well, but I do know how to play.
I suppose the obvious question would now be, who won?
Lily's innocent smile makes me hesitate. I don't really want to look like I'm lording my victory over Hanako.
Hisao did.
Yeah, but not by much. Damn, saying that out loud makes me feel like I've done something terrible.
Well done, Hisao. You've accomplished something I've only ever failed at.
Thanks. I haven't played in ages, so it felt good to play again.
Yes, it did.
Hanako fidgets with her hair a little, and looks away as she replies, but a small smile emerges. It's a little more extreme of a reaction than I expected, but it's still kind of cute in that Hanako way. Of course. It throws me a little off guard, and only Yuko's cataclysmic re-entry shocks me back into conversation. Are you right there, Yuko? You need a hand?
I'm fine. I do this properly. It's my job.
Concentration plays across her face, while she stares at the tray in her hand, as if simply looking at its contents will hold them in place. Sadly, this doesn't prove all that effective. The cups and saucers slowly dance around, occasionally clattering as they collide with one another. Taking great care, Yuko sets the tray down on the table, with only the subtlest of crashes.
There, see?
Well done.
Thank you, Yuko.
Yuko's head rockets downwards in her distinctive bow before answering.
You're very welcome. Would you like to join us? There's something else I'd like to discuss about the recent order, if I may.
Ah, that's right. Lily and Yuko were discussing about how books when I first met Hanako. Something about Lily helping with the braille.
Yes. We didn't get the chance to go through them, did we?
Yuko hastily sits down next to Hanako. Apparently, her dedication to this job only goes as far as her concentration. Once it's broken, she suddenly loses it.
I'll be in the library tomorrow afternoon if you'd like to try again. That sounds perfect. I'll meet you there after classes. Lily? No, dear. That's right, tomorrow's Monday. How could I have forgotten?
I'm starting to feel a little left out of loop here. Then again, that's to be expected. I've only been here for barely a week, so it's possible to know everyone's schedule.
Well, perhaps we could come to some other arrangement. Yuko, would you be in the library later in the week? Maybe. But this is already overdue. And there are some things I need.
This might be a problem. Lily ponders for a second before discovering the answer.
I wonder, might we be able to enlist the help of another if need be?
To do what? You lost me quite some time ago. Being volunteered for something without even having the slightest idea of what is going on is really not my thing. In here I thought I finally escaped the clutches of the student council, and their repeated attempts to recruit me. God damn it, Kenji, you're in my head. And she's named Misha, obviously.
No, of course. The other day I was helping Yuko sort the new braille books in the library. But Hanako and I usually go shopping on Monday afternoons. It's quiet on that day than on the weekends.
So you shop Friday, Saturday, Monday. When do you not shop, Lily? Because you said you go to town on Fridays, right? But you went for a walk Saturday. But you go shopping Mondays. You don't need to shop 3 times a week. I mean, my parents do, but my parents shop like every day because why not?
Well, last week we couldn't go because I was busy with the festival. I managed to slip away later in the week, but Hanako couldn't make it.
But when we went, you said that you always go Fridays. I mean, I don't know. Well, since I can't read Braille, I'm assuming you'd like me to go shopping with Hanako?
Correct. You were a great help to me the other day.
I think I can handle that. Hanako, what do you think?
If you wouldn't mind.
Of course not. I'm still not familiar with all the stores in this area, so it sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Now that we have that arranged, shall we have some tea?
It's now that I realize our tea has been sitting idly by all this time, getting no hotter.
It's my fault. Let me pour that for you.
Yuko reaches out with shaking hands, but I intercept her. She looks in no state to be handling hot liquids. It's alright, I've got it. Since you've already made the tea and sandwiches, you fulfilled your waitress duties, right?
I guess.
Yuko relaxes a little, but still watches eagerly as I share out the assortment. As I'm about to bite in the sandwich, a low rumble can be heard, along with a flash of light from outside.
I take it the show has started.
Only now, looking outside, I realize that dusk has come and gone, leaving us in the peak of twilight. Epilepsy warning? I don't know. Sparkling tracers arc upwards, ready to explode in the floor shapes of fireworks.
Let's go watch! Oh, sorry, Lily. Please, don't miss the show on my account. From what I've heard, this isn't a bad location to watch them from.
With the exception of Lily, we rushed to the window of the small tea house to watch the show. Where am I? I'm not here. Whoa. What is this? This is much different than what I had. Oh, maybe we got. Okay, we got up and we went to the window. All right, I thought we were like still in the booth. We like got up off our seats and we're over in a different area now. I'm still not here though. Hisao, where are you? The strobe of colored lights plays across Hanako and Yuko's smiling faces. And for a second, I forgot to look out the window. In this totally new world, there are a few things that don't change. I think that's why the school makes such a fuss over this festival. It's a chance to show the similarities between everyone. Wow, that's a lot of fucking fireworks, by the way. Show was over all too quickly. Okay, there we go. Fireworks are expensive, even for the most well-funded schools. My school has never had fireworks, so good for you. Guys, before we return to our tea and sandwiches, Hanako turns to me.
Thanks for today. And tomorrow.
That's okay. I don't think I could face those crowds either. On days like this, it's more relaxing to spend some time away from everyone, don't you think?
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been delaying this tea for far too long. Let's get back.
Sure.
We return to the booth and our light meal.
That sounded impressive. Bigger than last year's, at least. Yeah, it was great! I've never seen them put on such a show! It gets better every year. I'm afraid, however, that during that time when the tea has gone cold. Oh no, let me make some more. This is my fault.
Calm down, Yuko. It's nobody's fault. I take a sip of my tea just to prove the point. This tea isn't too bad cool anyway. It's like an iced tea.
Really?
Yeah, really. If you have a bit of sugar, it's kind of nice.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Now why don't you sit down and we'll finish this together. No problem, eh? Alright.
Okay.
Yuko doesn't seem convinced, but she sits down regardless. She carefully measures about 5 teaspoons of sugar and then adds them to her tea. I said a bit of sugar.
I know, but I like my tea sweet anyway.
Curiously, I peer into a cup. As expected, hardly any of the sugar dissolves in the cold liquid. She stirs it twice before upturning the cup and drinking the contents, sugar and all, in a single mouthful.
You're right. That's not bad at all.
Good. I look back to Lily and Hanako, both of whom have finished their meal as I witnessed Yuko's personality in action. Not one to hold anyone up, I use a tactic and finish the remainder of my tea in a single swill. Well then, seems we're all finished.
Should we head back now? What do we want seconds?
Yuko's expression shows that this clearly is not a good idea. I think it would be best if we got back soon. We do have to get back before curfew after all.
No, that is a good point. I'll meet you tomorrow, Yuko.
I'll be looking forward to it, Lily.
Goodbye, everyone.
We make our way out of the small tea house and into the dark of the night. Lily and Hanako once again take point, but under the cover of darkness, Hanako seems slightly less stressed than she did on the trip up here. So Lily, Bryn's not just hanging out here again, is she? We move against the occasional group of people emptying the school ground, but Hanako seems to lead us along a few minor roads, avoiding the bulk of the crowd. Outside the dorms, the school seems strangely quiet when compared to the noise of the day. Holy shit, Rin, you've been busy. I guess it's done? It doesn't look really all that done over here. Wait, where's that one guy? There was a guy sitting in like a chair before that looked like he was from Binding of Isaac. He doesn't exist now. Okay, maybe we'll see him in the day. I don't know. Well then, thank you both for today. I think I learned a lot.
You're most welcome. But I'm afraid that I really must be going. Today's been a long day.
That's right. They spent all the day on her feet. I can imagine that walking outside the school would be pretty tiring for her. I feel the pang of guilt as I remember that I was probably the only one in the school that got up around 10 this morning. Sure thing. Well, I'll see you both tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, Hisao. Night.
Girls return to their dorm, and I to mine. Actually, now that I consider it, today tired me out as well. Act 2. Hide and seek. God. My alarm blares into my ears, only to be swiftly silenced by my fist. Fuck you, alarm. Shut the hell up. My body switches into auto mode, carrying my subconscious self out of bed and into my uniform. As always, my bottle of pills sit on my desk patiently, waiting for me to take them and pick out my daily dosage of medicine. 17 pills a day. Before I know it, I'm opening the door to Class 3-3. Glad to see that I'm not the only one who seems to be a little hungover from Festival Week. Every face in the classroom looked gaunt. With the festival now over, it's as if everyone's life dreams have been achieved. With nothing left to live for, the students have relied on instincts alone to guide them to class. I may have reading too much into it. I slowly make my way to seat, and it's only then I realize why the room is so peaceful. Seats beside my are blissfully empty, while the loudest interpreter for the death has yet to arrive. Jesus! Okay, Shizune and Misha have been gone for like 4 days straight. I realize they're busy with the festival and all, but, you know. Just as I'm about to sit down, the door flies open, revealing a resplendent Misha, drills bobbing from the dramatic entrance and arms stretched towards the sky. Yahoo! It's all over! It appears that not everyone is affected by the post-festival depression. The rest of the class are obviously doing the same thing I am. Misha, still frozen in the door with her arms, still in the air, nervously looks around. It's obvious that she senses the foul mood, but can't work out exactly what to do. Suddenly, she jerks forward. Hey! As she stumbles into the classroom, she reveals Shizune, arms still extended from where she shoved Misha. It's been entertainment, but shouldn't you two take your seats? Still slightly embarrassed, Misha takes a few seconds to realize she has to translate. Oh, yeah, Shi-chan says she's not happy with you ditching us last week. We were really busy. Is that so? What about the stuff I already did for you two? She said it only counts for council members. Since you declined, she doesn't owe you anything. Misha leans closer and whispers conspiratorially into my ear. Actually, I think she's just a little sore that you didn't spend her day with her. She's really thankful for your work last week, though. Saying that she's being talked about, Shizune lightly wraps her fingers on her desk until Misha turns around to face her. I can't understand any of the fast-paced signing that's going on, but from Shizune's slightly embarrassed expression and Misha's poorly contained laughter, I can guess. While this exchange is happening, the door opens once again, this time at a much more reasonable pace. Hanako quietly enters the room and pulls the door closed behind her. Peering out from under her hair, she quickly scans the classroom. Her eyes meet, and she suddenly stiffens. She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and then walks over to my desk. Good morning, Hisao. Good morning, Hanako. You're a little late, aren't you? I was talking to Lily about today. So you've got a list then? We can leave straight after classes in that case. Sure. Looking forward to it. Hanako briefly flashes her embarrassed smile to me, then hurries off to her seat. Yeah, fuck you two.